right there. What's good with you?
We all good, man. Get ready for this game. Gonna take off, get our heads right, come out tomorrow, execute everything, we want it.
What are you expecting from your first, really the biggest rivalry in Mississippi? Really?
Hey, man, I expect a hell of energy out there at the vet, man, and we just want to have fun, really dominate the game, and put on the show for our fans.
Get on the bus with Jackson State. It's Soul Bowl 2021, everybody. Hey, even if you don't call it the Soul Bowl, I do, and I got permission from Neely, so it's all good. Hey, Jackson State hosting Alcorn State today, and for Alcorn, it is the season. What's up, gang? I am Tolly Carr in Atlanta. Oh, a little under the weather today, but it's not COVID, so I'm good. Episode 13 of HBCU Gameday Saturday. The SWAC East is all wrapped up, but the SWAC West is still up for grabs. The Braves need to beat Jackson State today. They got to do it. And then they need Prairie View A&M to lose to Mississippi Valley State. That game is played at Prairie View, so there won't be that whole home field advantage, literally. Now, a lot of hype surrounds the game that's being played today, as it does every year. And it's the first ever matchup between the old ball coach and Deion Sanders at prime time. Well, not to mention, Alcorn fans expected to win the West just like they won the East every year. But Coach McNair says, okay, I understand the hype. I'm not buying into it. It's still a game. We got to go out and execute. And Deion Sanders says, don't think we're going to be taking it easy because we got things wrapped up.
It brings a lot. It brings a lot of more excitement, I think, and the things he brings to the table. And, just like any other, it's been a Jackson State Alcorn rival for years. We had the excitement of the crowd. We had the excitement of the players and things of that nature. So pretty much the same, just a different coach. I think with a different mindset. I talked to the guy this morning, I said, nothing changes. We still got to go in and play a physical ball game. We're not going to play Deion. We're going to play that football team they're going to put on the football field. It's going to be on 11 on offense, 11 on defense, and 11 special team players. So that's our mindset. We're not thinking about playing the coaches. We got a football team that's going to be ready to play the opposition, which is Jackson State. So our mindset is set to play a 60-minute ball game and not think about what's on the sideline.
I don't think like that, man. We don't play games in between the lines. As long as we in between the lines and there's a film guy up there filming, that means we got to be serious because these guys are trying to go pro. They're not trying to go to college. They're in college. They're trying to go pro. They're trying to get to the next level. They're trying to impress. They're trying to get someone's attention. So that's my common theme. Every time we take the field, we aim to win, and we aim to be dominant on either three phases of the game, special teams, including offense and defense. So we're going to go out there and take this game like it's a championship game, like we do every game.
They're not trying to go to college. They already in college. That was low-key pretty funny, right? All right, here's a look at the SWAC schedule for today. Prairie View A&M out of conference collecting a check at Texas A&M with old Jimbo. But man, things can happen when you play the big boys. Injuries here or there, could that impact Mississippi Valley State? We don't want to speak that into existence, but you have to look at things from all different angles. And in hindsight, boy, wouldn't that be something? But hopefully they'll get through free and clear and get paid today. UAPB at Alabama A&M, Texas Southern at Alabama State. Quick turnaround for ASU with the Turkey Day Classic coming up on Thursday. And another important game in the SWAC today. Maybe you've heard of it. The Florida Classic. FAMU is out of the SWAC championship race, but they and many people believe that they could be in for a bid in the NCAA FCS playoffs. So they better not lose today to Bethune-Cookman, right? We talked to both coaches this week. They talked about the history of the matchup and the present day matchup.
As far as the Florida Classic goes, not a whole lot needs to be said. Records go out the window. It's a great football game, great contest, two great institutions, and a great platform for these young men to, be able to display their skills in front of a lot of people.
Well, obviously growing up here in Florida, you're going to be around both Rattlers and Wildcats. And so I've heard about this game my entire life. A lot of athletes out of Quincy did not go to Florida A&M. And because they didn't recruit them or for whatever reason. And so a lot of them end up going to Bethune. And so, I've heard about this rivalry from their perspective. One of my high school teammates played at Bethune, guys I've played against in high school, played there. So again, it's a game that if you grew up in the state of Florida and you appreciate black college football, the Florida Classic is a part of our history and culture and DNA. So I don't know what my first memory was, probably because I was too young to even know I was being talked to about the Classic, because again, this has been part of our family's culture and history, way before I was even thought of.
I think, we have always been this team, honestly. These guys have been working every week. Again, we've just had some miscues at different times of the different games and not been able to finish and put things together totally. But this team has been here the whole time, and I don't think, we're not into moral victories, but I don't think anyone that's played us will say that it was a pushover game. We just have had some things happen that kind of made it harder for us to win games. And now we're starting to clean up some things and do things the way we're being coached to do them. And we're starting fast, which is a great thing for us. And we're finishing out games. We're finishing strong. And I think that's helping us be in the position that we're in right now.
We're playing great defense, special teams, another big return by K-Dot. And so, probably our most complete game. And again, you want to be playing good football this time of year. As we know, the biggest game of the year is coming up this weekend in the Florida Classic. So a lot at stake. This game is huge for many reasons. And our football team has to prepare to get ready to play a very inspired football team that's on a 2-game winning streak and could very easily be coming into the game, 7 or 8 wins as well. So we know they're dangerous. We know this game is a game that we have to be ready to play, and our guys are hard at it. So,
explosive football team, and that goes from offense, defense, and special teams. Offensively, they have a lot of weapons. They have a quarterback that's going to manage the football game. They have 2 great backs. They run the ball. It's a 1-2 punch. They're 2 different type of backs, and they have some talented receivers that will go get the football. And they can, run by you if you're not paying attention. Defensively, they have a defensive line that will I think stand up against any defensive line in this league or at this level.
Hey, old Reggie Theus, he's new to the Florida Classic as the athletic director and the men's basketball coach at Bethune-Cookman. He's already learned how to throw shade.
Well, this is exciting. I think there's funny colors on the other side. Maroon and gold is a lot better color combination. I don't know who actually wears orange and green. But I like this side of the room better.
All of this championship talk out of the SWAC only leads to one place, the Celebration Bowl in Atlanta. So the SWAC still straightening things out, but the MEAC, it's a done deal. I mean, it's not done. Yeah, it is done. South Carolina State, no matter what happens, is going to the Celebration Bowl. Now, North Carolina Central trying to get a piece of the regular season co-champion. You know how we always have co-champions in the MEAC, right? But Buddy Pugh is the man right now sitting up on the hill. He talks about finishing out the season and also thinking about the Celebration Bowl.
We've had an enjoyable but a long season that way. And we're starting to get some guys banged up and beat up and that kind of stuff. But we're excited about the Celebration Bowl deal. Hopefully we can, get this in, get this game, get through this next game healthy and in one piece and, and get ourselves onto that particular process in a way where, we got something left to take over there.
All right, last week the Bulldogs were out of conference, but a familiar foe. Those old boys from Aggieland came down to Orangeburg. Doesn't count in the standings now, but the feelings still the same.
On a beautiful day in Orangeburg, South Carolina, there was electricity in the air. The Marching 101 entered the stadium in high fashion, but the Blue Gold Machine decided to interrupt the party. This would set the stage for an intense game on the field. The first quarter was a defensive struggle. Then South Carolina State got off to a hot start in the second. After a Gavin Zimmerman field goal, Kendrell Flowers tap danced 51 yards to pay dirt to put the Bulldogs up 10-0. Kingsley Ifede hit Nick Dobson, who made a 23-yard circus catch to bring the Aggies within 3. The score was 10-7 Bulldogs going into the half. The Blue and Gold Machine put on a halftime show. While the Marching 100 hosted Gameday and rocked the stadium. After the halftime festivities, South Carolina State blocked the punt for a score, and the Dogs were up 17-7. Ifede wasn't done when he hit Taman Cook, who dodged a tackler and scampered for 58 yards to bring the score 17-13. Mr. Martin also had more to say and broke one loose for 32 yards, which put the Aggies ahead 17-20. The fourth quarter was a dogfight. Until Devin Harrell said, "Gimme that," and take that interception 15 yards for the game-ending score. The Aggies continued their win streak versus the Bulldogs. In a crazy game, the Dogs are still in the Celebration Bowl.
All right, Delaware State gave the Bulldogs the hookup when they beat Norfolk State last weekend, which paved the way to Atlanta for the Bulldogs. So today in the MEAC, that game just doesn't have the same weight like we were anticipating all year long. Morgan State hosting Georgetown. Howard will be home to Virginia University of Lynchburg. That Norfolk State and South Carolina State, it was going to be so good. So much anticipation. North Carolina Central with the opportunity to get a piece of the regular season title, taking on a tough Delaware State team at home.
You know, when you have an offensive line, a head coach has an offensive lineman that played in the NFL, usually they're going to probably be a pretty physical football team. But, you know, their defensive line and offensive line, those guys just, they get after you, and they get after you for 60 minutes. And like you said, they are explosive on the perimeter with, you know, at the receiver position. So we're going to have to be able to answer the bell, and it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. And I think our guys will be ready for the task.
Okay, Division II playoffs start today. Once again, Bowie State is in the mix. Man, they have been there for 4 years in a row. Can they make some noise this year? Maybe. We'll talk about that in a second. But first, let's see how they got there last weekend. Once again, CIAA championship. Bowie State, Fayetteville State.
A picturesque day in Salem, Virginia for the 2021 CIAA championship game, and it was feeling real familiar out there as Fayetteville State and Bowie State squared up in the ship for the third straight time.
Hey, G, what up, baby?
Bowie State, ranked second in their D2 Super Region, came into this one like Marlowe after he took over the co-op.
Let's go, man. Let's go, man.
The reigning kings of the CI looking to flip that back-to-back into a three-peat and a deep run in the D2 playoffs.
Today's the day you show and prove who the hell you are. This is the time. Between these guys is where you put your work in. All right? So let's show these who we are. Let's show everybody in the country who we are. We're on TV. Show y'all today, gentlemen. All right? I'm telling you, inflict that pain and that punishment every snap. Every snap. Let's go. Turn that up. Bring that live today, gentlemen. All the way live. Let's go. Bring that today.
Yes, sir. Bring that up, man. You gonna win that motherfucker up front, bro. You scared, don't get out of the locker room, bro. It's war time, man. War 3. 1, 2, 3. War. Come on.
But first, they had to take care of business against an angry Stampede of Broncos.
Go, bro! Let's go!
FSU, making their fourth straight appearance in the championship game, and they made it crystal clear that just getting to the show was no longer acceptable.
Throughout the ship, the whole season is a wash. If you don't have that championship and going back to the Ville, all those CIAA players they have on there, didn't mean anything.
Bronco
pride. Attitude check.
I caught up with some Bowie State OGs in the tailgate, and they put me onto a little Bulldog history.
You're looking at who the thing started with. Legacy. We are members of the first football team at Bowie. 1972. Yes. We started the legacy at Bowie. That's right. And Wilson just came in and kept us going. Yeah. And he took us to another level. We are the first team, 9-1, black college champions.
They started in 1972. By 1975, we were independent black college champions, rated #1 in the nation. That was my team.
The Marching Bronco Express and the Symphony of Sound was out there cranking, and both teams came out of the tunnel ready to get active. Bowie State going off the leash early in the first. The balanced attack ends with a 10-yard touchdown from Jerome Johnson to Karan Winder and his 7-0 Bowie. Jerome Johnson, back playing fetch with his dogs on the lawn. And it must be a catch because it ain't hit the grass. Quincy Hall with the acrobatic grab off the tip drill. Rome Mahomes, creating time in the pocket and finds Victor Olayinka for the 9-yard touchdown. Bowie State is up 14-0 early, and Bulldog Nation was out there marking their territory. Fayetteville State making moves to the red zone in the second quarter, but they get stuffed at the goal line. Broncos line up for a field goal, but it's a fake. The Bulldogs not fooled, and it's still 14-0 Bowie going into the half. And the boys from the Ville came out for the second half on a mission. Darnell Walker, Matt trucks his way for 12 yards. Then it's Kahari Lane, finding Brandon Knotts, wide open for the 26-yard touchdown, and the Fayetteville State side goes ham, down 14-7 going into the fourth quarter. Broncos get the ball back. Kimo Stockdale, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, and eventually fumbling. Bowie recovers. It's reviewed, Bulldog ball, the back-to-back CI champs on the move with 8 minutes left to play. They get into field goal position. Aylin Omerhadzik knocks it in, and Bowie State is up 17-7. 5 minutes left for Fayetteville State to avoid a 4th straight championship game loss. But the Bulldog D locks up, and Bowie State three-peats as CIAA champions and heads into the D2 playoffs as a 2 seed on a mission for a natty.
This for the O-line though. This not just me. This go off to the O-line. They've been blocking their off for me all season. This for the O-line right here.
They've been saying TMG all day. What's the need to have all them goons on your side?
Hey, it's too many goons.
It's too many.
Run the ball, score. Run the ball, score. We've been going by that all year.
Hey, 3 straight dubs. 3 straight dubs give them 7 points apiece. They said that defense was better than ours. The scoreboard says different. We ain't done yet though.
We on TV. Man, I told Waleed they are more hype about being on TV than we are. We need to step our game up. So Bowie State at home today, taking on Lenoir-Rhyne University. The two have never faced off in program history. 4th straight year for the Bulldogs. Like we said in the playoffs, Bowie is a 2 seed hosting the 7 seed Lenoir-Rhyne. Our D2 guru, Chris Ferguson, talked about Bowie back in the playoffs.
Well, Lenoir-Rhyne has a really strong run game, and they have a really good complementary passing game. And they also have a very experienced quarterback. So, Lenoir-Rhyne in 2019 actually got pretty far in the playoffs. They went to the regional final before West Florida took them down, the eventual national champion. So, this is a team that is to sneak in at 7. I think they're underrated at 7. That's how good I think they are. They do have some faults. They do have some freshmen there, but Bowie State is one of those schools that they scheme so well on defense that they're going to be able to slow down Lenoir-Rhyne. Again, the question becomes consistency on offense and whether they're going to be able to get that ball not just into the red zone, but into the end zone. So do I think this is a winnable game for Bowie? Absolutely. I really do think that they do have the upper hand. They play very well at home. I am a little concerned about the offense and because they kind of had a little bit of a lull against Fayetteville State in a neutral site game, but at home I do like Bowie's chances against Lenoir-Rhyne.
Okay, Albany State in the house as well when it comes to the NCAA playoffs. Last weekend, they knocked off Miles College at Miles Place, SIAC championship. Let's go back to the coverage that myself and Vaughn Wilson had after Saturday's game. Hey everyone, it's HBCU Game Day. Just wrapped up the SIAC championship game for the 3rd season in a row. It was Miles taking on Albany State. Vaughn Wilson joining me now. He knows everything about South Georgia and North Florida. Vaughn, same game, different outcome. Albany State finally gets over the hump.
What a game. And it's interesting. When I reported last week, I think my first lines were something like, we knew from the beginning that it was Albany State's day. And you kind of saw it. We kind of talked about it. This team is focused. They're on a mission, and it's obvious.
Yeah, you look at some of the highlights that are rolling here. They came out, they threw that big strike early, didn't quite get it, but it wasn't long before they started reeling off points. And it was just big chunk plays, either in the air or on the ground. They were able to do whatever they wanted to against the Miles defense.
That's the success of this team, is that they are balanced. They can get it both on the ground and through the air. And man, when you turn it over to that defense, that front four is just amazing what they've done.
I know definitely in the first period, Miles did not cross half field or midfield at all. And they were just tenacious. And you see the final score, 31-0. They put you keep talking about those donuts. It was another one.
Right. Well, the key to that defense, the key to the Albany State defense is they lock down the run. But not only do they lock down the run, they're very good pass rushers. So you run a couple of downs trying to run and get plays, and then you drop back and you get a sack. You got Stephon Pierre, who is amazing, and freshman Malik Barnes. You've got some amazing people on the ends. So a combination of middle and the end make this Albany State team very tough to score on. And then when the offense is clicking, they're very hard to beat.
All right, let's go to Coach G now. He was out on the field accepting the trophy on behalf of his team, and he talked about getting over the hump of Miles College.
And it's been such a long effort from our players, and to get so close, 2 years in a row. I'm not going to lie, I'm a transparent guy. There's been a time or two where you doubted yourself, but I think that's where you just look internally and reflect and say, how can I get better? And that's what we try to do. We made some changes offensively in our schemes and things like that, and we pushed our defense to grow. And we can't stay the same. If we're not growing, we're dying. And that's just been kind of our philosophy, and I'm glad our coaches have been able to put up with me through all that growth process, because sometimes it hurts to grow.
NCAA playoffs, you'll find out tomorrow where you're actually going to be going. What's the mindset? How long are you going to celebrate this before you start turning it?
We're going to get the film out the way tonight, and tomorrow we're on to the next, ready to keep winning, keep this streak going.
All right, so Vaughn, we hear from Coach G, we hear from some of the players there. It was enthusiasm, but it was marked enthusiasm because there's still more football left in this season.
Absolutely. That's what I've been noticing. I mean, they're celebrating, but you don't hear them talking about celebrating so much. I think after tonight's celebration is over, they're going to prepare. You heard quarterback Deontay Bonu say, we're going to watch the film tonight because we want to turn our focus to the NCAA playoffs for tomorrow. So that kind of tells you the way that this team is focused and marching on toward their goals.
Yep, so that selection show is usually Sunday evening, so depending on when you're watching this, it might have already happened or be happening soon. We'll find out, but there's a very good chance they could host the game.
Very, very well. I think the administration the athletic director, Tony Duckworth, and the president, Dr. Frederick, they have been putting their ducks in a row to host. I think they would be a great, with their seeding, number 3 in the super region, they have a great opportunity to host that first round game.
Yeah, top 4 schools host. Number 1 seed overall gets a bye, 7 teams to get in. So there is a very good chance there. Vaughn, it's been a whole lot of fun, man. It is not over. It is not over. But the one thing before we go, you and I talked about this earlier in the week. I said it could be challenging for them to respond emotionally after everything that went into the Fountain City Classic, and you quickly shut that down. You said, I don't think it's going to be a problem, and today we saw it was a team on a mission.
These young men, under the leadership of their head coach, they follow the lead of the head coach. He's an Alabama grad, so he knows about winning. Coach G is a guy they love playing for. I mean, they doused him probably twice, near the end of the game.
I got a little bit too.
That's the fun of college athletics, and you're able to teach. The lessons he's teaching through this season will last these kids a lifetime.
Okay, we didn't know everything then, but we know a whole lot more now. We know that Albany State is the number 4 seed, hosting the number 5 seed, West Georgia, today at the Coliseum. First playoff appearance for Albany State since 2018. They've won 8 straight this year. The last time these two teams met, not that long ago, 2019, which was an Albany State win. Today will be the 11th overall meeting between the two programs. All right, you don't need a game program. I just gave you all the information. Now, some teams are chasing championships. Other teams out there are chasing a coach. They got a job opening. We had 2 firings this week. Man, it's rough out there. All right, openings now at Clark Atlanta, Grambling State University. Winston-Salem State, I think, is open. They got an interim coach that's been interim forever. They might hire somebody else, I guess. I don't know. Lincoln of Missouri, Elizabeth City State University, and Alabama State all open. All right, no big storylines here, but North Carolina A&T is finishing out the season today at home versus Gardner-Webb. Hampton at home for the season finale as well against North Alabama, and Tennessee State is on the road at Mississippi State. All right, that's it. HBCU Game Day Saturday. Getting a little shorter as the season. Oh, we're getting down to crunch time, man. The Soul Bowl, all eyes are there. Florida Classic, NCAA Division II playoffs, a lot on the line today. We'll talk about it tonight, HBCU Game Day Saturday night. Thank you so much for supporting us, guys. I know I say that all the time, man, but I was just sitting here thinking, man, started from the bottom and we are going up, 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 and it's because of you guys. We're doing more. We're bringing you more. It would not be possible without you, and I really mean that. So show us some love in the comments, man. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us how you're enjoying the coverage, what else you would like to see. We do it for you guys, man, so let us know. You're the boss. Like, after my wife and kids, then I listen to you, right? All right, I'll see you guys right back here wherever you're watching tonight, Saturday night. I'm gonna go drink some hot tea, try to get this voice right. You guys enjoy that weekend. Talk to you later.
Y'all, it's game day. When the band is what you hearing, everybody here is cheering. All your worries disappearing, y'all, it's game day. Whether televised or streaming live in person while you're screaming.